Howdy guys, Matt Massey here coming at you from my garage. Today I'm going to do a little work on the boat. Last event I've had major problems with my electronics shutting off. Every time I turn the big motor on, my graphs would shut off and reload, and with Humminbirds it takes several minutes to load. So the most frustrating thing there was. Come to find out, I think my wiring is a mess in this boat, and Trent Palmer over at Sonar Pros sent me out a new bad Mama Jamma wiring harness. Look at this thing, guys. Huge harness made specifically for my boat. That's the nice thing about his stuff. They make it to fit what you need on your boat, to the model of your boat, to what graphs you have, and it's really the only way to go nowadays with all the electronics we have on our boats. So Sonar Pros, this is how it comes. Really nice. Everything's covered, insulated. All the fuses, everything's labeled on here. You know, source, bow 1, bow 2, console. You know, everything's labeled on here. They make it pretty simple. The hardest part's gonna be fishing the wire. He sends a, shrink wrap to go over all your connections when you power your units. All the fuses are here. Heavy gauge wire. Really an excellent product here. I'm gonna add a power switch dedicated from my starting battery through my wiring harness to my electronics. Let me show you what I'm working with here. This is the problem. Voltage 11.6. I'm getting 12 volts on my Panoptics. Let me go to the console here. Look at that. 10.2 volts at the console, 10.1. Awful. And my SmartCraft gauge is reading, if you can see that, 12.1. So I've got a new battery, cranking battery in this boat. I put a ProGuide AGM 31 series. I'm going to start tearing this thing apart, and we'll give you an update once I get everything back together. So, I mean, look at that, low voltage alarm just came on. It's pretty awful. I just turned the boat power on too. It's been charging since I used it last. 10.4 volts, 10.2 volts, 10.3 volts. I still got a steady 12.1 at my SmartCraft gauge, but everything going to the boat itself, that is all over the place. So shout out to Phoenix, send me a new shroud for the bow. Front one here's got some cracks in it, so I'm gonna replace that while I'm at it. And I will give you guys an update when it's complete. We'll see you. All right guys, midway update. So I've got everything apart here. So my shroud, there's my graphs. Here's my harness wires. Cool thing about it is, with Sonar Pros, they actually label everything. It says bow 1, bow 2. And then it's got the sonar module on there, and then you got the ground. So I've got it fished to there. Going through there. Up underneath there you can see the harness. Yes, I've got TP in my boat. Every fisherman has TP in their boat. Coming out of the console here, sonar console, power and ground coming inside there. And then it definitely helps if you take apart everything. Shifter's off, all my switches are off, everything is off, and then you come back to the back of the boat. Here's the back of it. Here's all the fuses to each unit. Your main power. And I'm gonna mount a disconnect switch right in here on the side to turn it off and on. So I've dedicated power to my graphs only. So, all right, now I gotta start putting everything together. All right, guys. The boat wiring harness is complete. Wanted to show you voltage readings now that I've got everything back on. 13.1, 13.1. Then on my console, the actual pigtail from my graph to the power is corroded, but we are at 12.7, 12.6, 12.7. I gotta order a new pigtail. It's got a little corrosion on it, but that's what it's supposed to be. They're all supposed to be the same. This is what I did in the back. Put a disconnect switch right here. Go into my starting battery, so it's got dedicated power directly from the battery. A harness is pre-made to fit your boat for each graph that you have in module. So it's Sonar Pros makes it very simple for you to hook these things up. They use high quality components. Everything's got the nylon sleeve over it, so it pulls through the boat really easy. I'm kind of surprised how simple it was to do this. So if you guys are having issues with power, your graphs aren't getting enough power, they aren't going to show you what's there. So look into Sonar Pros, build your harness and put it in. You will definitely be surprised on what you've been missing. So anyway, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.